I used to think babysitting was the easiest way to make some extra cash. But that night in Hollow Creek, I learned that some rules aren't made to keep you safe. They're made to keep something else safe from you. It was early fall, the kind of evening where the air smells like rain and burning leaves. I just moved to Hollow Creek, a small town off Highway 74, where everyone knows everyone, and strangers stand out. I was 22, new apartment, no friends, low on cash. So when a woman named Mrs. Adler posted a babysitting ad on the community, bored at the diner, I called her right away. She sounded polite, warm. She said she needed someone to watch her 6-year-old son for one night, just while I attend a late charity event. The pay? $200 for one night. That should have been my first red flag. I drove out just before dusk. The address led me down a narrow, wooded road that twisted for miles before opening up to a large, 2-story Victorian house sitting behind rusted iron gates. The kind of house you imagine being haunted long before you ever step inside. Mrs. Adler greeted me at the door with a soft smile. Her perfume was faint but old, like roses left too long in water. Inside, the house smelled of cedar and lemon polish. Quiet, too quiet. She led me through the hall, where old portraits watched from the walls, all pale faces with glassy eyes. Her son, Eli, sat on the couch in the living room, clutching a stuffed fox. He looked small, frail even, with dark circles under his eyes, like he hadn't slept in days. He didn't speak when I waved, just stared. Mrs. Adler handed me an envelope with my payment, in advance. She seemed nervous now, avoiding eye contact as she spoke. "These are just a few things you need to remember." "Dear," she said, handing me a small list written in neat, looping handwriting. I unfolded it. It said, 1. Dinner is at 7:30. Eli must eat alone. 2. Do not turn off the hallway lights. 3. Keep the TV on channel 4, no matter what. 4. Most importantly, never look at Eli after 10 p.m. I laughed awkwardly, thinking she was joking. But Mrs. Adler didn't laugh back. She just squeezed my hand and said softly, "Promise me, dear, you'll follow them exactly." Then she left, her heels clicking down the long path to her car. The house fell silent. The first couple of hours were fine. Eli sat quietly on the couch watching cartoons on Channel 4. Every time I tried changing it, though, the TV would buzz and flicker like the static itself resisted the change. So I left it. At 7:30, I served him dinner like the note said, macaroni and apple slices. He didn't talk, didn't smile, just kept glancing toward the hallway behind me. After he finished, he whispered, "You should keep the lights on." Something about the way he said it, calm, rehearsed, made me uneasy. I tucked him into bed at 8:45. His room was neat but cold. There were crosses carved into the wooden headboard, and old children's drawings taped to the walls, all scribbles of stick figures standing under a black sun. When I asked if he wanted a story, he shook his head. "Just keep the door open," he said, "and don't look in after 10. My chest tightened. He knew the rule too. Around 9:30, the house began to creak, slow, deliberate sounds that didn't match the wind outside. The clock on the mantel ticked louder, like it wanted my attention. I tried watching TV, but Channel 4 had changed on its own. The cartoons were gone. Now it was showing a dimly lit hallway, one that looked exactly like the one in this house. I watched for a full minute, frozen, realizing I was seeing a live feed. Then, something moved at the edge of the frame. A small, blurry figure, standing still in the dark. I turned off the set. Instantly, the sound of footsteps echoed upstairs. Slow, soft, and close. I called out, "Eli?" No response. The clock struck 10. I climbed the stairs carefully, holding my phone light in front of me. His bedroom door was slightly open, and the hallway light flickered. From inside, I heard whispering. Not one voice, but two. I froze, straining to hear. It sounded like Eli, talking to someone else. "She doesn't know yet," one voice said, low, hushed. Then Eli's voice replied, trembling, "She'll see me if I move." My breath caught in my throat. I pushed the door open, slowly. Eli sat on the bed, alone, his eyes wide and glassy. I whispered, "Who were you talking to?" He blinked once, then turned his head, not toward me, but toward the open closet. I felt a chill run through me. The closet door was ajar. Inside, darkness so deep it looked solid. Then, from that blackness, something exhaled. I slammed the door shut, grabbed Eli, and backed out of the room. He started crying softly, saying, "You shouldn't have looked. It's past 10. I didn't understand what he meant." Until the house lights flickered, and the sound of something heavy dragging echoed from the hall. We ran downstairs, but every door I tried was locked. Even the front door, the knob wouldn't turn. I dialed Mrs. Adler's number, but the call wouldn't go through. Just static. And over the static, faintly, her voice whispered, "Don't look at him." I turned slowly toward Eli. He was standing perfectly still by the TV now, face hidden in shadow. The Channel 4 feed was back, showing me, standing in the same room, watching myself. But in the feed, Eli wasn't standing. He was floating. Heartbeats intensify, faint static hum. I blinked, and he was back on the floor. "Eli," I whispered, "we need to leave." He shook his head. "Mom said if they see you, they'll take you too." "They?" He pointed to the TV. On screen, behind my reflection, a shape began to form. Tall, pale, featureless. Its hands reached out through the static, pressing against the glass like something trying to crawl through. The lights exploded with a pop. Darkness swallowed everything. I grabbed Eli and ran blindly through the hallway. Slamming into walls, tripping over furniture, he screamed, "They're coming!" I saw shadows bending along the walls, stretching toward us, fingers like smoke. We reached the kitchen door, locked, windows nailed shut, every exit sealed. Then a whisper at my ear, "Why did you look?" I spun around. Eli was gone. Only his stuffed fox lay on the floor, staring up at me with one glass eye missing. The house was alive now. Every portrait's eyes seemed to move. Every whisper echoed my name. The hallway stretched longer than before, impossibly long. And at the end of it, I saw Eli. He stood there in his pajamas, smiling faintly. But something was wrong. His skin shimmered, like static. His head twitched in short, unnatural jerks. And his voice, when he spoke, came from somewhere behind me. "You weren't supposed to look." I backed away, heart racing, tears in my eyes. "What are you?" I whispered. He smiled wider. Then his face split. Not blood, just darkness, like a shadow tearing itself apart. And from inside that darkness, dozens of pale hands reached out, grabbing the air, reaching for me. I screamed and fell backward, straight through the living room wall. When I opened my eyes, everything was quiet. The TV was off. The lights were steady. It was 10:07 p.m. Eli was gone. Mrs. Adler returned around midnight. She found me sitting in the kitchen, shaking, staring at the stuffed fox on the floor. She didn't ask what happened. She just looked at me with tired eyes and said, "You looked, didn't you?" I couldn't speak. She sighed, picked up the fox, and whispered something I'll never forget. "They always come back when someone looks." Then she turned and walked upstairs, calling softly, "Come now, Eli. It's time for bed." Her voice faded into the dark hallway, and then another voice answered. A whisper, not human, from deep inside the walls. "I'm not sleepy. They said the Adlers moved out a week later. But when the new family moved in, their babysitter quit after one night." She said the same thing I did, that sometimes after 10 p.m., you can still hear a little boy whispering from the TV, asking why you looked.